of course, leader of the Lib Dems, and you can hear interviews with the Greens and UKIP on Matt Chorley and John Pienaar's programmes.
Kimchi Man, Ed Davey there. 8:29, the front page of the Times this morning offers a warning from the Vice-Chancellor of Cambridge that private schools must accept they'll get fewer students into Oxbridge. In the past, the private education has been a helpful step on the way to a leading university. Is that going to change? Samantha Price is Headmistress of Benenden School and President of the Girls' School Association. Morning to you, Samantha.
Good morning.
So 6.5% of children go to private schools. I think it's 12% in sixth form. Would it be a fair society if 12% of people at Oxbridge went to private schools and the rest went to state schools?
I think the most important thing is that we need to make sure across the country that any young person who aspires to and is capable of getting to university and to the top universities has the opportunity to be able to do so. And therefore, I'm a strong advocate of a contextual admissions process, as long as it's one that's absolutely fair across all schools and also socioeconomic backgrounds.
But your business model is based on not being fair. It's not a criticism that parents who have the money want to make their children better educated than their competitors. The system, your business model is inherently based on an unfair system.
Well, I think what our system provides is choice for parents. And obviously that's been something that's been celebrated sort of in our democracy and country for many, many decades. So I think, first of all, we need to look at the choice. I wouldn't ever turn around and say that an independent education should be regarded as a key through to Oxbridge and to the top universities. That's not why we exist. We exist, A, to provide that choice. We exist to provide a really, really thorough education to make sure that every one of our pupils can get to the university or to the place of higher education that is right for them. And if you look across the sector, you're not going to find that all students in independent schools are the right kind of candidate for Oxford or Cambridge. And that's never been the case, and that never would be.
But you are selling a better education. You know, when you're on your prospectus, you'll say the number of people who get A's and A stars at GCSEs at A levels. You'll say the number of people who go to Russell Group universities or Oxbridge. You are competitive. It's a competitive market. You're saying my school will send you to a better university because of the outcome will be you have a better education. Is that not the business model?
So the business model is to make sure, as I've said, that every student gets to where they should be getting to. And schools will be competitive. Schools through the independent sector are competitive with one another, naturally, because, of course, they are trying to encourage parents to choose their school rather than another school of their choice. So I think that's a very different way of looking at it than competitive with the state sector. I think, again, if you're looking at the way our higher education system is going, though, more broadly, if we track back over the last 20 years, we will see that systematically the number of students going on to Oxford and Cambridge from independent schools has gradually begun to decline. And I think that's right, to be honest with you. And then going forwards, if you look at the candidates who are going to be given places at Oxford and Cambridge, those universities still need to be giving the very, very strongest candidates the places for those universities, not a borderline candidate who's been coached to get to Oxford and Cambridge, but they're looking for raw potential. And that raw potential may be coming from schools like ours, or indeed they should be coming as well from the state schools. And that's why actually schools like ours are doing an awful lot with our partner schools in order to be able to support their candidates with preparation for Oxbridge. We are working very much in tandem.
Are you worried that parents might, in a couple of years' time, look at the cost of private school and say, well, if in the end it might actually be held against my child that they go to a private school for a university who wants to get more state school pupils in, it's not worth the money to come to a private school?
I think that has to be a choice for parents. Very few parents choose a private school because they think that that's going to be the fast track to Oxford or Cambridge. They choose private schools because of everything else that we are in a position to be able to offer. And they look at the product of the student who leaves our schools at 18, and then obviously what they're going to go on and do in the future. I think the most important thing in this country is that we maintain the choice of education, and that secondly, the independent and state sectors continue to work really closely together so that actually we can benefit every child properly in terms of the education they're receiving. And to be honest with you, I don't think that we are in a position nationally for one system to be able to manage effectively without the other.
Interesting stuff. Samantha Price, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
She's the headmistress of Benenden School and the president of the Girls' School Association.
It's 8:33. Let's get the news now with Anna Cunningham.